Welcome to Immaterial World,
a dedicated and transparent space to recenter how we explore glamour, magic, culture, and everything else we love together.
Immaterial world, come meet me in the immaterial world. As far as the galaxy goes, we're flying in the immaterial world. Immaterial world, come meet me in the immaterial world. With mind and body and soul, we're flying in the immaterial world. The immaterial world.
We are so excited to be here today with Valerie Mesa. Welcome to Immaterial World.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm so honored.
So Valerie is the curator of an amazing aesthetic astrology meme account. How would you describe your social media presence?
I'm like taking it all in right now with you guys. I genuinely am a huge aesthetics girly, and I absolutely love expressing myself. And I think one of the biggest reasons I got into astrology was because it allowed me to tap into those parts of myself. So yeah, I refer to myself as a visual storyteller. So all of the above for sure. Aesthetics, visual storytelling, graphics, things that make you feel joy, passionate, maybe even a little bit of taboo in there. Sometimes my images are a little bit like purposely intense, and it's like to evoke a feeling. So yeah.
Yeah. What brought you to this path? How did you find your way here?
So, it's interesting because I feel, are you guys Pluto and Scorpio generation too?
I am. Yeah.
Here we
The whole
are,
crowd.
right? We are the weirdos, mister. I always say that because our generation is just so, we're tapped in, right, to the darker undercurrents and the mysticism and the taboo topics. And I feel like growing up, I was always really tapped in, very intuitive, and I didn't know at the time. I grew up an only child. I very happy, childhood, my family, my cousins, my primas. I'm a Latina, so I always grew up around family. But I always felt, things that were going on, and I didn't really know how to put my finger on it. So when I discovered astrology, it helped me kind of like not put people in a box, but like compartmentalize energies and sort of like understand myself, understand the people around me. And, my grandmother was always like a huge like Walter Mercado fan. I stole my mom's like Linda Goodman book.
I love him.
Yeah. So charming.
Forever rest in peace, King. Of course he's a Pisces because he was. So yeah, like just little things led me there. And my first astrology book was from my mom's like bookshelf, and it just kind of like spiraled out of control.
That is so cool. I love a childhood love of divination and magic, really.
Right. I remember being like, I don't want to be a Pisces. I have major Pisces placements in the 12th house, but yeah, it's, but it got me down into astrology later on in life because I was like, why am I so sad and emotional? I know you're another water queen, so this is.
Oh my gosh. And the 12th house name, like in your signature, I was like, that's really all I have to see.
I always say that, like, for me, astrology helped me to realize why I'm such a contrarian and to own the parts of the chart that need a lot of love. I hate when someone looks at my chart and they go, ooh, all that 12th house energy. I know that we're not going to have a positive conversation about astrology. So I own my 12th house.
I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. I think everybody should own their placements. And this is a whole other topic, but like, when when certain like placements are in detriment or at fall, like, whatever, I get it. And I still write about it because I know that it's traditional, but obviously, like, I don't care. I love me a Venus in Scorpio. I'm a Mars in Pisces, and it's tough, but I wouldn't change it. It's in my 5th house. Like, we can find ways to, cultivate those energies. And yeah, those people that kind of like judge you off of your, no, I don't like that either.
So
I love joking about my Venus and Virgo in the fourth house because it makes me the weirdo turned on by work that I am.
yes.
Happy Venus return to you.
Thank you.
Yes, I love, and that's another thing. Like, speaking of Venus, like Venus is beauty and harmony. Like, it's going to transit each sign. You're going to tell me that when it gets to Scorpio, when it gets to Virgo, like it just stop, or Aries, it stops. Like, I think of Venus and Aries with like some of our greatest artists of all time. Monroe, Rihanna, Elizabeth Taylor, like they have their Venus and Aries, and it's not a typical Venus. Like, so that shouldn't matter.
I love this.
I know your account is so beautiful when you start taking all of these celebrities or these people of note that have these placements and really delving in and giving that beauty. So I really relate to your account. I think that you do incredible visual storytelling. Who were the teachers, or what were the tools that you used to build your own astrological knowledge?
So I definitely have taken my fair share of courses. My first class ever was here in Miami Beach. I'm from Miami. And it was with a shaman teacher, and it was like a mix of astrology and meditation. And I'll never forget, like, one of the first things he did was he put on, oh, your pup's so cute. Hi. Venus and Virgo right there all the way. Sorry, my ADD. So he put like on a slideshow like Xena Warrior Princess, like to kind of talk about like Aries archetypes, which is kind of silly and basic, but I was just so like consumed by it. And then from there, I got really deep in. I mean, I started really young by myself, but then I wanted to take it to another level. I believe it was when Jupiter returned to my sign in like 2013, around there. And I have a sun in the ninth house. So like I'm a Cancer. So like all of that studying and exploring led me to want to go and like go to school for it. And I was like, I want to do something different. And then from there, I started working with my mentor, who I feel so blessed to have met. She's from Venezuela. She's from here too. She lives in Weston. And she's still like my go-to source, like whenever I feel like, I just want to pick her brain. But different things. I mean, a lot of reading, I think for astrologers, a lot of times we're observers more than anything. There's a lot of psychology behind it, and it's having that open mind and wanting to understand people. I really think that that's what it all stems from.
I just love how divination is such a helpful tool for self-reflection and awareness. And like, it's such a wonderful way to get to know, your loved ones, but also strangers sometimes too.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Do you believe in astrology trends? Like, what do you think the future of astrocartography might be? Or do you see other types of astrology maybe increasing in popularity over time?
Oh my gosh. I feel like with platforms like TikTok, which is very like quick and like fast consuming, I'm really impressed, genuinely. Like TikTok, I get sensory overload. I try to go in, but I'm like, whoa, and then I kind of leave, and then I come back. But
You're speaking to the right crowd here.
Yeah, too fast.
Oh my God. I'm like, and I'm such a nerd. Like I used to have a live journal. I don't know if you guys remember like live journal.
Oh yeah.
This is not the first time LiveJournal has come up on this show. There's something here.
I'm live journal girly. I just started a Substack. I like I'm a little long-winded. I like to immerse myself in things. I'm a Scorpio rising. Like when I want something, I want it all the time, so it's just how I am. But like with these like quick, fast consuming vibes on TikTok and Instagram, like I'm noticing a bunch of different things. I think astrocartography is incredible. I'm not an expert, but I do dabble in it. Like I'll go into astro.com and, I fell in love, for instance, I love Los Angeles. I love art. I just love the scene. Of course, it's on my moon line. So they're like validation. Like that's something that I think astrocartography is fabulous for. And I think in terms of trends, I've always been a big advocate of get to know your Venus sign. Like that's something I did a project with one of my, it's a brand that I work with. They're Loved by Luna. They're on Instagram. You might have heard of them before. And one of the projects we did together, we had like a Hello Venus kit. And I'm just such a firm believer in our Venus sign being like our happy wife, happy life. Like if we keep our Venus happy, like everything else is going to flow for us. Our, money making abilities, how we feel about ourselves, what makes us feel attractive, how we call in other energies. I think in addition to astrocartography, I think getting to know your Venus sign and really like looking at the houses, for instance, in your birth chart, like if you have, for instance, I have a fourth house in Aquarius. So my house is like super like eclectic, like a lot of technology. My fiance is like into all the tech. We have like the electric guitar. Like if you really pay attention to the different parts of your chart, you just see things that really stand out. So like definitely astrocartography may be something that more and more people will look into. But I think sometimes with astrology, like less is more. Like you don't have to learn how to read a birth chart to get to know yourself and to really celebrate yourself, because astrology at the end of the day, for me, it's like it's a self-empowerment tool. Obviously it's like the little rose-colored glasses that we use to look at other people or movies, or like, life imitates art, like astrology imitates art for me. Like it's like all connected. I hope that answered the question.
Oh, for sure. And I would think that, the Venus sign call out is such a huge unlock. When I first started getting into astrology, like really getting into astrology, I have a Venus in Aquarius in the 11th house.
This is so perfect. Oh,
It's really like it makes sense, right? But when I first was looking at my chart, I was like, there's no way that can be right because I'm such like a soft water baby. Like I have like all of these like romantic feelings, but like truth be told, I'm like I would love to yearn for you. Like please stay away from me, romantic partner. Like let's keep distance between us. And like my work is my love, and it's all about like this pioneering spirit. I don't care if no one else is doing it. I'm like, oh good, I'm the first one to do it, and I love just being really innovative. So I would agree, like the Venus sign is a huge unlock. That makes so much sense. I love that more than a trend.
Yeah, it's so important. I think sometimes like people they don't take it that seriously, or they think it's just about beauty, or like let's say you're not. I think for women, like we're constantly flowing and shifting. Like we have seasons where like we're all about self-care, and then we have seasons where we're like, oh my god, I don't even remember, like I need to do this, or my nighttime routine, or spruce something up. Where for Venus it's not always about the beauty stuff. There's so much more to it. Like where do your talents, your gifts come alive? Like what if you're having a bad day, like what can you kind of reconnect with that's a part of you that Venus brings to the table? Like that's your charm. That's your come hither energy, like I would say,
Love that. Adopting.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It explains a lot of my cottage fantasies for my happy place.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I love Virgo energy. I think Virgos are just like in general, like the Virgoan vibe is so like, and that's another thing. I mean, we could talk here for hours, but I think a lot of earth signs, are you a sun in earth or?
I'm a Leo sun.
Oh, okay. Okay. My mom is a Leo sun, Venus and Virgo.
Oh my gosh, cute.
Yes, of course, my Cancer talking about her mom, so typical. But I feel like earth signs sometimes are kind of like kind of swept to the side. And is it just me? Like earth
No,
signs?
I think you're right. Yeah, they don't get enough light.
Don't get enough love. And I think that like Virgo being so multifaceted and mutable earth, like you guys are so hands-on and crafty and so sensual. And like I think Venus and Virgo is a beautiful placement. It really is.
Yeah, I'm super into it. When I first learned about it, it was like, oh, this is a prickly one. And I'm like, actually, that's not bad though.
Yes.
And Valerie, I'm really glad that you said, some planets, people talk about them being in exaltation or they're in detriment. And there's like this very negative vibe given to certain placements. So it's really beautiful to reframe it in this way and just see how your chart wants to be fed. I love that. And I also want to point out something I love about Virgo too. I recently read a book about the Marian apparitions and doing the birth charts of where people have seen the Virgin Mary. And a lot of the apparitions have appeared with like a lot of significant Cancer or Virgo placements. It's super, super interesting. So even though I don't necessarily have a lot of Virgo energy in my chart, like I do relate it back to that, and it feels like this eclipse season feels like it had a little Marian energy in it
Oh
for
my God.
me.
Totally. No, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing. Like, we can, it's like people appreciate the seasons. Like, sure, there's going to be some seasons. And if you look at your chart, oh my God, I've always been like a fall girl. I've always been a summer baby. That chances are you're below the horizon. The sun is probably transiting below the horizon when you're not feeling yourself. And it's all the way at the top when you are, right? Like, those are ways to also like, see what energies you vibe with. And again, as observers, that's why I feel like there's such a, and maybe it's just me, but I just find such a strong link with art with astrology for me, because I enjoy it and I love to observe it and I love to celebrate it in other people.
I think that this makes sense for this next question then, because how do we then get from you loving astrology and taking it in and thinking about it and processing it and translating it into memes? Would you even call them memes? I mean, you're doing this beautiful commercial work. You're also a writer and writing about spirituality, astrology, but also spell work and also ritual work.
Yeah.
How are you translating this information into such beautiful, commercial, understandable work? Because it's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I just want to have you guys on my shoulders, just telling me like
Yes, please.
sweet nothings. Thank you so much for that. So I'm a Cancer Sun, Moon, Mercury. My Mars is in Pisces. Scorpio rising. My Pluto's in the 12th house. My placements are in the 8th. I'm very water. So I feel like my messages are evocative in the sense that the way that I process information is emotional and it's spiritual to me. So that's how I relay the message. And I'm just so happy to live in a time where we can grab our phones, open up an app, and put, images together that resonate with, how I'm feeling at the moment, and somehow find a correlation and a resonance, which I'm such a flowy person. And my mom actually laughs at me and my partner, because they're like, oh, what is it? Is it because the moon is here? Like, I think as astrologers, we always find the reason, well, here's the thing, like, Mercury's squaring Pluto today, so that's what's going on. But I feel that there's always, depending on how I'm feeling, like, it's kind of like in response to the energies, and then I just find a way for them to come together. But the expression of it is an opportunity, I feel like, where I kind of like, I try to make it beautiful, and like, maybe it's not beautiful to others, but it is for me, where I'm like, oh, I really like this. I the other day I shared for the autumn, like, autumn is enchanting, and I use like these really deep, like, crimson blood red colors, and it's just an energy that I'm feeling this season, like really electric blue, like red, like it's like the colors that are calling to me. So I feel like, short story long, it's really just about how I'm feeling at the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And I've been thinking so much about how enjoyable and like bingeable your content is. And it made me want to ask you, like, do you think memes or this kind of audience, what's the word, big audience content that you're creating, it's like a kind of spell? Is that some of the intention there too?
I will say this. I believe 100% that words are spells. Like, that's for sure. And I think energy flows where intention goes, right? And my biggest thing is, like, I always want, like, even with people that come to me for a reading, like, you're not, like, I'm an astrology hype girl. Like, first of all, if I know your sign, I'm never going to forget it. That's just how I am. But I want to celebrate you. So, like, if I have an opportunity to show you, like, this is what makes your sign badass, from my perspective, and maybe that's subjective, but that's why I think you're a badass. Like, this is why I think you're beautiful. This is why I think you're, amazing. And I think for the Venus carousels I do, or for just genuine, like, fun movie pop culture things, like the mood board, I very much connect with, like, the mood vibe. And I think, once again, that is very much connected to spell work. I think spell work is a form of manifestation, essentially. Obviously we want to manifest something. I don't believe in, like, the bad stuff. That stuff, like, we steer away from all those things. Look at me, I'm like making my whole computer. While we steer away from those things, but yeah, I've written things before in my carousels that have happened really strangely. One of the things that I remember the most, I think it was last year, I did a Mercury Pluto, it might have been the Mercury Pluto conjunction in Aquarius. And I remember like creating like some digital art where like there was a train and like the train was like kind of like exploding, but it wasn't like the train was exploding. That wasn't my intention. It was more so of like the electricity and the quickness and the innovation of it, to evoke some imagination. And something ended up happening during that transit that looked just like the photo. So I was like, okay, this was like kind of eerie. But yeah, I think everything that we tune into, give attention or love to, or put energy into, you're already like, it's a kite and it latches onto something.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a prophetic moment in your trance state.
Yeah, and it was kind of freaky. I think it was like a train or something. Like, I mean, knock on wood, I hated seeing that, but it was like, you guys, I remember sharing it on my stories. I was like, you guys, I literally just shared this and this happened. But on a brighter note, I do like the seasonal ones. I do like, I'm gonna honor my shadow, or I'm gonna romanticize everything. I think that's another thing that I enjoy doing, is romanticizing my life. So I use the memes for that.
It's so fun and important to do.
Yes, especially with the way the world is right now. We have to find a little bubble of love somewhere.
And I think that it's also just like, again, going back to this idea that it's giving someone a better idea of who they are. And I think that astrology as a form of divination is so fascinating to people, even if it's just understanding their individual signs and not necessarily going into their aspects or into the houses. But are there any aspects or placements that you just love to see in somebody's charts that you want to like play favorites for a second and talk about?
Oh my God. And this is such a good question. I saw your question. I was like, first of all, thank you guys so much for sending me the question. But I was like, oh God, these questions are so rad. Again, because of everything I just said, I love art. I love expression. I love softness. I appreciate it. But I also appreciate like different, it's like when you're, I don't know, like you're in the mood to have something really spicy, or like, you kind of are in the mood to have like, let's just order apps today, There's different charts that you see that you're just like, oh my God, like somebody who has like a very Marsy energies, like that they have like either like a Mars like in Aries, like, and their Aries rising, where like you could just like, it's like a striking energy about them that you're just like, my God, like, do you know what your rising sign is?
That's
like
me. Literally balloons are happening.
Are you serious?
I'm an Aries rising, yeah.
We're having prophetic dreams. Wait, but we have Mars there too?
No, I have Mars in Scorpio.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Happy Mars return, Venus return, Mars return. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Badass Mars. I was just going to get to that next. So anything that's like really Marsy that like I can just feel, a Venus and Taurus placement to me is just like swoon. You talk to these people, I feel like herky jerky. Like my Mars squares Uranus, so I'm like you saw, like I almost dropped my laptop. Like I'm like all over the place. So like when I see people that are so like grounded and soft and sensual, I really appreciate that. But I also really appreciate my Venus is in Gemini, so like I love breezy, lighthearted, airy conversations. I have a love-hate relationship with Libras, because Libras, I fall in love with Libra energy, and Libras just leave me like I'm so intense for Libra that they're like, okay, bye. Like I'm done with you. And I'm like, but we're not best friends. Like, what do you mean? Like we can't get deeper into the topic, because they're just so, spending a day with a Libra where you go like shopping or grab coffee or whatever, it's like the best day ever. You're like, man, I'll never forget that day. They just have an ability to like decorate the room. They just decorate your life. I love me like some 8th housers, some 12th housers. 12th housers to me, you guys are shapeshifters in the best way. People underestimate a 12th houser because you guys could you just shift into the atmosphere that you're in, but you're always not that you're in the background, I don't want to use that, but like you're very much tapped into that collective unconscious. So you could relay any kind of message or any emotion that's happening. You're able to like read all those different the languages, the emotional languages in other people. I basically just went down the list of every sign, really, if you think about
Love
it.
that. We love every side. We love every placement.
I do. I really do. I celebrate every placement, and it's so fun to see. It's so, I don't know, like especially like on TV, like when you see like certain placements, like I love looking at where Venus is when you look at an award show and like you see like the red carpet. You're like, oh, this is so. A show that happens during Venus and Pisces, like get ready because you're gonna see like the most beautiful, like dreamiest outfit.
Wow.
Same with like a taboo, like I'm trying to think of things that have happened before. Oh, the day of that train thing, with Mercury, Pluto, that was the day that Julia Fox, she posed like in the subway with like it was just like it was like a caution band, like she posed nude.
Oh, yeah.
It was so Plutonian, so an Aquarius. So like, I don't know. I just love to see it come to life. It's a never a dull moment.
Okay, so what's so interesting to me, quick follow.
Yeah.
Venus is in Virgo. Fashion Month is happening right now. And
Yes.
I will say it's a weird one. Like there's a lot of creative directors that have changed over,
Yeah.
by trade, I am a trend forecaster. So this is something that I'm really keeping an eye on, especially through an astrological lens. So this is really interesting to me. What would your thoughts be on Venus and Virgo with Fashion Week happening?
Kim Kardashian's Nike launch.
Okay,
Done.
like
I mean,
like practical.
totally. And she is Queen Venus and Virgo. Like in addition to being, and the Kardashians, I know that they're like like controversial bunch to talk about, but I mean, they're such a huge part of the culture and of, our lives. But when I see her, she has Mercury conjunct Uranus in Scorpio in her 12th house. She's a Sagittarius rising. And that Venus in Virgo at the top of her chart, if I'm not mistaken, because she also has Jupiter in Virgo, it grabs that innovative, psychic, taboo energy from that 12th house. So she has that conjunction with. She's created a brand where like everybody feels comfortable and everybody feels sexy and the fits everybody, the innovation, the taboo part where she kind of like transcended that, like you need to look like this and like this to wear very sculpted fitted clothing. Like there's so much to her chart. And if I had to like sum it up, I just think it's so the athleisure, like all the different, like the neutrals, but the color tones being solid, practical, but beautiful. And she loves everything minimalistic too.
This is so interesting because I'm also thinking like from a perspective when we're looking at all of Fashion Month, right? There's so much happening on a business level because like I said, like so many of the houses have changed over creative directors, or there's been like all of these massive conversations where then the shows are happening and it's super commercial product in many places, right? It's like everybody wants to make sure they're still making money
Yes.
and into the next season where there's some serious risks happening. And I've actually been looking at some chart, like some synastry, like especially like Versace or like Bottega Veneta, and there's some like interesting things.
Oh my God, you have to share that with me because I'm like, I haven't heard of that part of the stuff going on. I'm super intrigued.
Yeah, and I was also looking at, and we don't have to harp on this forever, but so some of the houses, they're in like their 42nd to 45th year of business. So some of them are going through like a Uranus opposition, which is so funny because when they started, it was like Uranus and Sag. So some of them are like straight up 80s style that's happening. And it's like wild. They're like having their midlife crisis, right?
Oh my God.
So it's like either Venus and Virgo, we got to like keep the business afloat, or it's like
Nice.
we don't know who we are, so we're like really going for it because we're like here to make a statement. So fascinating things. I'm really going to be looking at these Venus moments a
Oh my
lot
God, you
closer.
totally like a true air Venus. You're blowing my mind right now because that's so true. It's making me think of like when Uranus which is going to retrograde back. But like when I remember thinking, oh my God, Uranus is going to oppose my natal Pluto. Like this was like 2018, 2019. I can't really put into words what that was for me because Pluto's in my 12th, but like I do feel like there was like a shedding, if that makes sense, of something. That those oppositions of those generational planets, it's so fascinating. You see, this is what I love about astrology. Like this is what I love.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going through a Pluto square and a Neptune square right now. Or yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's okay. It's generational. We gotta
We got
it's
this.
that time of my life. So
And your Aries rising. So I mean, that's what you're here for.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
here for. To go to war and to, in the best way. And yeah, Aries rising is, you guys are badass. That's for sure. What's your rising?
Gemini.
Gemini, nice.
Yeah, very chatty, very excited.
Oh my God, yes. I so resonate. And Vedic astrology is also so interesting. I'm not an expert on that, but I'm a Gemini, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I collect triple Geminis. Yeah, I don't know why I have so many wonderful triple Gemini friends.
God, and I'm like, who am I today? Am I a Western girly with my regular Cancer sun, moon, and Scorpio rising, or am I a Libra rising like Vedic? It's always fun to just, kind of put myself to change hats, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I love the way we've been talking about astrology because it feels like it's unlocking so many personal realizations and also realizations about the things we love. How do you recommend someone start to learn astrology, especially if they're feeling a little intimidated by all the math? Like, what's a good way in?
That's such a good question. I would, these are like for the people that like you really want to get into it, but like you don't know how or when to start, just find a chart. Like, I don't know if you can like maybe print one or something, or you could even draw one where you start at Aries and like journal every time the sun is in one of those signs. Like it's starting at Aries in that little empty box, like write all the things that you felt or like key points that you experienced that season and like go down the list when it gets to Taurus, when it gets to Gemini. Cause I mean, at the end, there's a Toni Morrison quote that I absolutely love. And actually I found it in the Netflix documentary, The Baychella, where it says, if we surrender to the air, we can write it. And I absolutely love that because I feel like when we flow with the seasons and we actually allow ourselves to evolve, like with Mother Nature, like for instance, the fall being a season of transition, it never fails. Like right before Scorpio season, we just start to feel that little bit of like, the little momentum coming of the death and the rebirth. It doesn't have to be so literal, but if we flow and we allow ourselves to grow and evolve with the seasons and we pay attention to what's going on around us, again, I'm going to sound so silly, but like, I think about this all the time. I'm like, whoever hears me will think I'm so weird, but I look forward to the journey. It's such a sun in the ninth house thing to say, but like, I enjoy the journey. Like, I want to immerse myself in it and I want to be as present as possible because life is so short. And I think the more social media we absorb and the more information we're constantly like just our brains are allocating constantly, the less in touch we are with ourselves. So if there's one thing that I think astrology brings to the table is that ability to reconnect with yourself through the stars and through the universe and just grow and flow and learn and enjoy it.
That's so beautiful and watery and romantic. I love it. When you're in your own personal divination or healing, what are some of the tools that you use?
Oh, so definitely for me, I need to ground. Like I need to walk on grass. I need to touch grass. I need to be barefoot in the park. I need to go to the beach. Definitely grounding is huge for me. I always, no matter what, I just changed them now. I always have to have fresh flowers in the house. I feel like flowers are so important. The frequency they, release, having flowers, to me, that's like the best form of witchcraft there is. Like have your altar, have your sacred space, let your ancestors know that they're there. Even if they're there, don't just go about life and think they're going to be there if you don't really give them a place. Like, let them know, like, this is for you. I baked you a cake. I mean, everybody does it differently. I always have flowers for my people. I say things out loud. I pray. Prayer is huge for me. I mean, again, I'm not like the traditional spiritualist because I pray and I believe in everything really. God is first for me always. I also do a lot of like ritual baths. I love a nice, white flower drizzle of like fresh scent. I even use like rose water sometimes. I'll like sprinkle some crushed eggshell cacaria in Spanish. It's very potent for absorbing anything that is negative and like kind of like creating a shield. But yeah, I would say, oh, and I like to also like for the seasonal changes, like I write a letter to Mother Nature every year during the spring equinox, summer solstice. And then whenever the autumnal equinox arrives, I always make like a very hearty, like meat and potatoes dinner. And, I do it with all my love. I'm such a Cancer. I'm obnoxious. I do it with all my love, and before I eat, I'm like, thank you so much. Like for, I'm blessed. Thank you for my food. Thank you for my blessings. Like I honor the season of harvest. And yeah, that's some of the main things I do really.
That sounds so comforting and lovely. Ancestor reverence is such a huge part of my practice too. And I love hearing about people doing it in other traditions and just how accessible and sweet it is. And it's like anyone can do it, even if you don't know who your ancestors
are. Oh, important. Oh my gosh, you're never alone. Your angels and your guides are always with you. Sometimes they walk into a room before you do. I'm convinced that they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you do so many interesting things. You do readings as well as your visual storytelling work. How can people best support your work, find your work, and or work with you?
So valeriemesa.com, or just follow me on Instagram because I have everything there. And I do like one-on-one Zooms where I do solar return readings. I do a cosmic breakdown, which is like the first reading I ever really give people. I suggest, people doing that so we could get to know them through their chart, through an astrological lens. And then I have like the cosmic catch up, which is like right after I've met with you, I know you, I sit with you, I can pull tarot, I can, I do different things. The 12 houses, I pull cards for each houses sometimes, depending on the mood I'm in. It's really cool. So
cool. I love that.
Even it's hard to read your tarot for yourself, I'm sure, which is, how that is. It's so hard. Like you're biased. You're like, I'm not doing this. I put my cards away. But when it does have like the 12 houses, and I like to journal when I do that for myself. Sorry, off topic. But I've noticed that when it comes down to reading for myself or getting grounded, I like to move, which maybe that's my Mars in Pisces, but like I like to do movement or yoga and breathe. And as I'm moving, I get like energy and messages, and I write that down because otherwise just sitting down to do tarot for myself is kind of strange. But for clients, I do all types of things really, but they can find me on Instagram and my website. I always ramble. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. You're so full of great information. And also, like, I love that you're sharing your process because that might be so incredibly helpful to a listener who never thought to do yoga if they're feeling stuck in a reading. Because, I mean, it really does move energy through you. Like, the amount of times I've done readings for people and I'm like, your ancestors want you to dance, you'll have better ideas.
Oh my God.
Like, such a thing.
That is so, like, for me, I don't know if it's like being a Latina or what, but like movement, like that's already in my blood. Like I have to move my body. But for me, because of my watery connections, I feel, of course, I always give it a reason, but God knows, God is the only one that knows. But like that Mercury in Cancer, how I'm feeling says a lot about how I'm going to process information. So if I am not in the right emotional state, I know myself, like I won't respond to a message right away. I'll give myself a minute to digest. Like that's the beauty also of astrology. Like get to know yourself. You're only going to be a better version of you at the end of the day. And that also helps us give ourselves grace sometimes. Having a lot of water, like I grew up with a fire mom who, I'm an only child. So we're like best friends. She had me very young. So she was just like, let's go. And I was like, I can't. I'm like, Mom, I would overthink everything, and she'd be like, "What's the problem?" Like, and I'd be like, "Thank God for her Pisces moon, because other than that, I don't
You
know."
have a Pisces moon. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're very similar.
Stop. Okay,
That's
no,
so funny.
and my mom is Aries rising to top it off.
Oh my gosh.
So of course, I mean, how to make a Cancer feel at home? Just talk about your mom. It's so silly, but so cliche. Not always.
She's come up 2 times in this interview.
I love it.
I love it. So Cancerian.
I'm so basic. But yeah, like that's huge for me is knowing that like it's okay to not be in the right headspace. Like it takes, I have a process because I just absorb, like I absorb too much. I feel too much. And I don't like to say it as a dark thing because I'm happy to be that way, but it's hard. I grew up undiagnosed ADD and like I got good grades, but yeah, it was hard. I mean, think
Yeah.
how they are now,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This was just such a pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting with us. We have learned so much and it's been so much fun.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
You have
I
to
could
come
go
back. This was
forever.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Listen, I will be here forever with you guys. Look at this. Oh, I just need this. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, right. I'm never get out of here. No, I could talk to you guys forever. Are you kidding me? I would love to continue talking whenever you guys want.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
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 I like to see you shining, shining on your dreams. You're a special kind of magic. Show me all your favorite things. You're pretty like a sunset. You're pretty like a pearl. You're a special kind of magic. Dancing in a crazy swirl. In a crazy swirl. Immaterial world, come meet me in the immaterial world. As far as the galaxy goes, we're flying in the immaterial world. Immaterial world, come meet me in the immaterial world. Your mind, your body and soul, delighted in the immaterial world. The immaterial world. The immaterial world.
Immaterial World is hosted by Jessica Richards and Jezmina von Thiele. Music by Thiele. Artwork by Lane Friend. Follow us at Immaterial World Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Visit our website at www.immaterial-world.com or send us an email at immaterialworldpod@gmail.com. Thank you for being part of our immaterial world.
Welcome to the immaterial world.